Welcome back to The Explainer. If you've been tracking the AI space with us, you know we've basically been riding this endless, incredible wave of hype and rapid innovation for a while now. But looking at the data dropping today, July 10th, 2026, a totally different narrative is starting to take shape. We're officially moving past that honeymoon phase. The AI industry is hitting some real-world friction. We're talking about the messy, complicated growing pains that happen when bleeding-edge technology finally collides with everyday reality. It's a fascinating shift, and today we're going to break down exactly what this friction looks like across the board. So here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're tackling four massive growing pains reshaping the industry. We're going to look at 1. Securing the AI workplace, 2. Regulating next-gen models, 3. The carbon cost of AI, and 4. The generational AI divide. Let's dive right in. Chapter 1. Securing the AI workplace. Okay, so right now, the bleeding edge of AI is causing some completely unprecedented headaches for corporate security teams. We aren't just dealing with basic chatbots answering questions anymore, we're dealing with systems that actually take action. To understand why IT departments are suddenly sweating, we really need to define what we're working with here. Agentic software. These are programs designed to act autonomously on behalf of a user to execute workflows, often interacting independently with other tools and systems. Notice the keywords there? Autonomously, independently. These AI agents aren't just drafting an email for you to review, they're actually operating your software, moving secure data, and executing tasks entirely on their own. And while that's an absolute game changer for productivity, from a strict IT security perspective, having an autonomous program just wandering through your corporate network is a massive vulnerability. To see the real-world panic this is causing, just look at how Alibaba reacted today. They've officially banned employees from using Anthropic's Claude Code. They literally instructed their teams to completely remove it from work computers, specifically over fears of backdoor risks. Instead, they're entirely locking down their ecosystem. They've mandated a total pivot to Quater, which is their own internal AI coding framework. They are so incredibly concerned about the autonomous vulnerabilities of outside agents that they're taking zero chances. But you know, where there's a problem, the market usually responds. The newly debuted CodeNotary AgentMon 3 platform was unveiled today specifically to govern these corporate AI agents. The key thing here is that it analyzes human-to-model and tool interactions in line. Basically, it acts like a security guard, monitoring these autonomous workflows in real time, giving companies a new adaptive enterprise security framework. The whole goal is to mitigate those exact emerging vulnerabilities that caused Alibaba to hit the panic button. So the industry is frantically trying to build the guardrails while the autonomous car is already speeding down the highway. Chapter 2. Regulating next-gen models. It's not just corporate end users throwing up defenses, though. The massive developers are pumping the brakes, too. Take OpenAI's newly launched GPT 5.6 series. It's an incredible leap forward, and it's headlined by this state-of-the-art Sol tier alongside their default Terra tier. But right now, this is strictly a restricted preview. Access to these models is completely locked down to select API partners. You can't just log in and use Sol today. So why gate off such a massive technological leap? Well, the broad production launch has been delayed. OpenAI is operating under a highly cautious framework right now to vet infrastructure access against national security standards. Let that sink in. We've moved way past simple consumer safety checks here. The capabilities of models like GPT 5.6 are now triggering direct regulatory reviews at the national security level. Before any broad public launch can happen, governments essentially need to make sure this infrastructure is absolutely ironclad. Moving on to Chapter 3, the carbon cost of AI. All right, we've talked a lot about software bottlenecks, but what about the physical limits? 27%. If you really want to understand the true physical cost of our relentless push for smarter AI, this single number tells the story. This isn't some far-off projection. This is a massive, shocking reality check happening right now. That 27% represents the staggering surge in Microsoft's total carbon emissions. That huge jump equates to 21.1 million metric tons. And the main culprit? It is directly tied to the rapid expansion of their AI data centers. All of those complex models, all of those autonomous agents we just discussed, they require immense computational power. And that massive power requirement is creating an incredibly intense friction point with basic environmental realities. And the crazy part is, Microsoft is absolutely not alone in this struggle. This data center boom is a massive industry-wide friction point. That 21.1 million metric tons follows right on the heels of grid strain reports from Google, and it completely mirrors power consumption warnings that have been coming out of Amazon. The physical infrastructure required to sustain this AI boom is quite literally pushing our global power grids to their absolute limits. And finally, Chapter 4, the generational AI divide. To really wrap our heads around AI's growing pains, we have to look at how this tech is actually being integrated into society on a human level. Take this official audit from Brown University tracking daily and weekly generative AI usage. We're seeing this stunning irony play out. Graduate and medical students are at a massive 67% utilization rate, while the faculty teaching them is sitting way down at just 25%. The educators are being dramatically outpaced by their own students. It really highlights a massive demographic fault line and how quickly different groups are adapting to this new reality. And that demographic fault line extends all the way to the oldest members of our population, which has actually prompted action at the highest levels of the U.S. government. Enter the newly proposed bipartisan Aging with Artificial Intelligence Act. Introduced by Senators Mark Kelly, Rick Scott, and Roger Marshall, this act officially mandates federal research into generative AI tools, but it has a very specific focus: the digital independence of older Americans. The act is designed to thoroughly analyze the impact of chatbots and voice assistants on this specific demographic. It's a vital acknowledgement that as we rush forward with these incredible new capabilities, we need real data to understand exactly how these tools might help or hinder the daily independence of older generations. Which leaves us with this crucial question to chew on today. As AI models become more and more autonomous, straining our power grids, demanding entirely new security frameworks, and fundamentally altering how different generations interact with technology, are we moving fast enough to ensure no one is left behind or left vulnerable? The growing pains are very real, and how we answer this question is basically going to define the next decade of the AI revolution. Thanks for diving deep into the explainer with us today. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you in the next one.